go over the Prime Connect bindings. So to give you a little bit of background, the Karakoram Prime lineup kind of has two tiers. We have our Alpine line of splitboard bindings, which is a purpose-built backcountry splitboard binding. And then we have our all-mountain primes, which is the Prime Connects, which are first and foremost performance-built snowboard bindings. So the difference being, this is a snowboard binding that is capable of being used as a backcountry tool. These are backcountry tools that are capable of being everything snowboard bindings. So it is a different customer. The Alpine person knows exactly what they want. They're going for a very specific mountain tool. The Connect customer is somebody that just wants a really high-performing, really nice snowboard binding, and maybe they want to get into the backcountry as well. So to get into it, the Prime Connect this season is being carried over for the existing model. Everything here is DuPont plastics. We work very closely with DuPont. This is a fiberglass-filled Zytel plastic from DuPont. Same with the high back. The straps are also a DuPont product, Hytrel. So everything we're doing here, we're injection molding in Washington State, controlling our own tooling, controlling our own manufacturing process. So these are bindings that are about 98% made, sourced materials and manufactured in Washington. So from a sustainability standpoint and from a snowboard culture standpoint, it's a very powerful story. Prime Connect is first and foremost a really, really high-performing snowboard binding. We do everything that we do with the splitboard bindings with preloading down to the board, except by going to plastic, we're offering a much more damp feel. The toe stay and heel stay flex underfoot. We have foam in the footbed. So essentially what we're offering is a two-stage dampening system. This arch under your foot, in the toe stay, takes up big impacts, and the foam kind of absorbs higher frequency vibrations underfoot. So when you're riding a lot of resort in these bindings, a lot of hard pack, a lot of like chundery, crusty snow, it's doing a really good job of managing all of the vibrations and forces, and still offering protection to the foot for landing flat, off jumps, all that stuff. So that's the Prime Connect. For this year, we've also expanded the Connect line. We're offering a Soft Flex Connect, and what this is also a DuPont Zytel, but without fiberglass in it. And so what this offers is a lot more fore-aft flex. This binding has a much more floaty feel, and kind of more oriented towards like your freestyle rider who wants to butter and play around. But again, it's still preloaded with the Prime interface, so it's super responsive, toe to heel, and can also be used as a backcountry splitboard binding with our Connect split kit. So pricing on this binding is going to come in, we haven't totally nailed it down. It's between $350, $360, and with the Connect bindings, you're getting two sets of the Quiver connectors. So I'll go into that briefly here. When you buy the Connect bindings, you get 4 of these or 2 sets. For this year, as I was mentioning, we've been working very closely with DuPont, and we made a Quiver connector out of plastic. By going to these really unique plastics, we're able to replace a lot of the metal components with plastic components, which again allows us to incorporate more design elements, reduces weight, reduces manufacturing costs. It's better for the environment. It's also just more refined looking. So the Quiver connectors, I can't say enough how amazing these work with the bindings to produce a really high performing system. By bypassing the 4-hole disc, we're preloading off of the connector and sucking the binding down onto the surface of the board. So all forces are being transferred directly to your toe edge and your heel edge, depending on which side of turn you're doing. A lot of our ambassador athletes have been telling us that these are the best turning bindings they've ever been on, and I have to agree. They really are fantastic bindings. So that's the Prime Connect Soft Flex. $350, $360 with the 2 sets of quivers. The main Prime is $399, also with the 2 sets of quivers. And then for this year, making a Connect, we're calling the Connect R for a reactive, and this binding is getting our new high back, which is very close to the carbon high back in stiffness in the back direction, but offers more torsional flex. It's a very forgiving, very comfortable high back, but still offers very high degree of rigidity where you want it. So it's kind of a fine line to walk, and you have to be very specific on those specifications. Like, you want a high back to be responsive, but you don't want to be overpowered by beating up your legs. So the Prime Connect R, basically this kind of represents, in my eyes, similar to like straight line, but in the Connect line. It's a very aggressive, really awesome free ride binding. It's coming in this murdered out black colorway.
It's also the pirate's favorite binding.
It's the pirate's favorite binding. It's the R. Also, one thing to note is our bindings have the ability to run an incredible amount of forward lean for really aggressive riders. Not very many people are going to run this much, so you can back it off to whatever amount you want. But for those of us who are really passionate about mastering the heel side carve, it's kind of a lifelong pursuit. Cranking the forward lean really brings these bindings to life. We're already made a responsive binding by loading it onto the board. By cranking the forward lean on these things, you're really activating everything that this chassis has to offer. What you'll notice about pretty much most Karakoram bindings is we utilize a very high sidewall. And the sidewall gives your boot a lot of support fore aft as you're turning. As you're leaning forward into the nose of the snowboard and then ending on the tail. The sidewall gives you a really precise feel and control over the entire length of the board. But it also at the same time gives you a ton of rigidity and stiffness toe to heel. So it's the Connect R. Also for this year, Connect Split Kit. So this is the same binding. This is the Connect R with our new tour mode adapter. So essentially what we're able to do is offer a really high performing, really nice overall snowboard binding that is now also a fully functional backcountry touring binding. This is a very important thing to note in that most snowboarders on the market have spent most of their lives looking at and using plastic bindings that ride and feel a certain way. So what the Connect bindings allow you to do is you have that binding that is your everyday workhorse binding that you love to ride it all the time. And so when you go into the backcountry, you're not having to adapt to new equipment. So if you kind of like think about resort riding, it's almost like gym time. You're building up your anaerobic muscle power for pounding through moguls. You're building strength on all that, just doing laps on the chairlifts. You're also working on skills, turn initiation, jumping, all that stuff. So it's essentially training time. So when you get into the backcountry, you want to ride a big line that you've been thinking about eyeballing for a long time. It's really important to be on equipment that you're 1,000% confident on and that you're very familiar on. Me personally, I ride the same bindings in the resort as I do on any big mountain snowboard mountaineering expedition or any of the stuff I do in the backcountry. It's on the same bindings. So I really don't feel like I'm having to adapt. So that's the split kit for the Splitboard interface. Oops, wrong board. Let me grab this one. This is the Connect Split interface. It's the same interface that comes with the Alpine Primes, with the exception of the heel riser. The Prime Connects come with a single medium height riser in the Connect Split kit. They are, however, compatible with our new dual height flip speed risers. So the dual speed risers can be available as an upgrade kit as well. The beauty of this system, again, is just that you're not having to adapt to new equipment. It just falls right into the interface. series. And now you have a very responsive, very high performing binding. Let's say you get to the resort, maybe you're at Snowboard or something, you do some powder laps in the morning, and then you decide to do like a quick afternoon splitboard lap. It just offers you that ability to show up to the mountain with your splitboard and your solid board in one set of bindings, and it's extremely versatile. Also for this year, we come up with what we're calling the Quiver Protector foam pieces. These are going to be sold, I think, for like $10 as an upgrade. We were thinking about adding them with every set of Quiver connectors, but from a trash management standpoint, we wanted to try to incentivize people to not throw them away. So if they have to buy them as an upgrade or an add-on, then they're likely to not throw them away and to keep them. But the benefit of the Quiver protectors, you can put these on your interface, on your solid board, and they go on the splitboard interface. And what they allow you to do is to just stack your boards really cleanly. And they protect the base of your board, they space everything. They also allow air to travel through the boards. So at the end of the day, it's always a good idea to dry your board off so your edges don't rust. But these also aid in that. So Quiver protectors, a lot more functional than you might think. We use them all the time. Whenever the Karakoram guys go snowboarding, we basically have a sprinter van with anywhere between 20 and 40 snowboards. So stacks of boards, and we're all just kind of treading around. I think the last thing to note about the Connect series of bindings is, our slogan is connect with performance. First and foremost, it's a very high-performing snowboard binding. Obviously, I'm biased, but this is the best turning snowboard binding in the world. The way that it preloads to the board, again, your turn initiation is just instant. No other binding turns a snowboard the same way that this one does. So connect with performance, connect with your Quiver. Our mantra is we want people to be able to buy more snowboards and have more of that snowboarding experience. And that's what we're all here for. Is we love to snowboard. We love being in the mountains. It's all about the experience and the feel of the turn. Every single board has a different feel. We've made a pretty amazing partnership with Gentum Stick. So here what I'm holding is the giant manta ray. These are handcrafted snowboards from Japan. So back home we have a ton of these boards. So the concept of quivering is a pretty cool one. Every single snowboard offers something different. So we really want people to be able to have that single set of bindings that allows you to run any board, solid or split. Connect with the backcountry. Again, all of our bindings are capable of being fully functional splitboard bindings, whether or not you're in the all mountain primes or in the alpine primes. And then also connect anywhere. Snowboarding is it's a community activity. It's all about being out there with your friends. So a lot of the time we're out there riding together and swapping boards, even mid-run. We'll try out a new shape and say, hey man, this was a really sick turn, you gotta try this thing. So we're really trying to build that community around snowboarding. And lastly, again, 97% of everything you see here is sourced materials from Washington State and 100% manufactured in Washington. They're assembled by snowboarders for snowboarders, and right out of Seattle and North Bend. So come check us out. Thanks.